He's like, dummy, yeah, dummy, yeah. That shit is fucking so funny to me. It's, dude, imagine like being a big buff fucking jack dude. You fight people for a living and you call people dummy and you go, yeah. That's so fucking, I love it.
It's time for the Garage Boozing Podcast.
What's up, nerds? And welcome back to another episode of the Garage Boozing Podcast. I'm your host, the man with absolutely no plan, the Chase with the face for radio, Chase Shurga. And boy, do I have one hell of an episode for you guys today. This is part 2 of my fantastic conversation with the Love Panda, a.k.a. LovePanda24x48, a.k.a. Matt Minnick. And yeah, I mean, if you guys loved part 1, which was last week, you are going to absolutely love part 2. So, yeah, without further ado, folks, you know what time it is. It's time to sit back, relax, kick your feet up, crack open a cold one, and if you're really feeling fruity, take a shot. Why not? Because this week's episode of the Garage Boozing Podcast starts now. And it's once again ad-free.
Remember when Triple H booked himself as the World Heavyweight Champion?
Yeah.
Was that best for business?
No.
Jinder Mahal being WWE Champion. Was that best for business?
I'm going to say yes. And I'll tell you what.
Was it best for business? I'm not saying
maybe
it wasn't
not. Maybe
bad
not.
for business. I'm saying it wasn't the best for business.
Was it bad for business? No. Was it the best for business? No. Maybe not. But I will say, so I go to WrestleMania every year with a group of my friends. And this one year, I think this was 33 in Orlando, or it might have been 34 in New Orleans. Either or. We always did like the WrestleMania Axxess where we go and meet the wrestlers and everything, right? So my favorite thing about Jinder Mahal, he still to this day is my favorite professional wrestler I've ever met, and I'll tell you why, is because a bunch of my friends, they're waiting in these big long lines to meet like Finn Balor, Sasha Banks, and all this shit. And my thing was like, I'm just gonna get as many autographs as I can in a short period of time. I got 2 hours.
Build the book.
So I'm going to all the small lines and stuff. I go to Jinder Mahal's line, and he was like one of the last ones I went to. Line was short as hell, maybe 3 people in the line. This guy is the only person who actually got up from behind the desk, stood up in front of the desk, took a picture with me, shaking my hand, and he complimented my watch. He's like, that's a really nice watch. Where'd you get that? Did he mean it? I don't know, because he could probably get a way nicer watch than me. But the fact that he actually took like 2 minutes out of his day to have a real conversation with me, and it wasn't just me leaned over on the desk with a thumbs up, like that was cool. But obviously that has nothing to do with like the story of like wrestling and everything. But ever since then, I was like, that guy's fucking awesome.
Absolutely. Jinder is a human being. I've heard nothing but good things about him.
Don't hinder the gender, baby.
I understand why they created the Maharaja and, you know, their expansion in India and all the things that they're doing. I understand it. But they just...
It wasn't best for business, no.
It was bad booking of him.
Sure.
Such bad booking. The best thing they could have did was have AJ beat him.
Sure.
And that's sad. The only thing people remember about his reign is him beating Randy to win it and him losing it to AJ.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you remember any other big moment from that reign?
No, those are the only ones I remember.
Exactly. It's just disappointing. He deserves better.
I agree. But he's a big dude.
Yeah,
big guy. So real quick, can you list off your top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time for me?
Oh, fuck.
I'll go. You want me to go first? I'll go first.
Okay.
Very easy. Number 1, Shawn Michaels all day. Number 2, Christian, not modern day Christian. I used to like Christian, at last, you're on your own. And he had the little temper tantrums. That was the
music.
best.
Oh, yes. The best music, Christian.
Oh, dude, I loved it. Right. Yeah. It was sick.
And like the rain fireworks, the rain.
Oh, dude, the rain fireworks were badass. Number 3, who did not used to be a number 3 for me, but easily slid in, Cody Rhodes. I fucking love Cody Rhodes now. Number 4, Matt Hardy. Not Matt Hardy now, but like I did love Broken Matt Hardy and TNA. Before that, like the old like Hardy Boys, Matt Hardy. And then number 5, easily Chris Jericho. Code breaker Chris Jericho. Break the code when he came back and he clothesline the guy that was like running with the torch. That was my favorite. 2007 when he came back. That was cool. So yeah, Shawn Michaels, Christian, Cody Rhodes, Matt Hardy, Chris Jericho. Your turn.
Okay, so if we're going all time, I can't put them in the top 5 like exact order, but I'll give you 5.
Sure, it doesn't have to be in no particular order.
Jushin Thunder Liger, Great Muta, Kazuchika Okada,
Oh, I love that.
CM Punk, Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt, love it.
And
I like
just
what they're doing with
random
Bray Wyatt
orders.
now because I'm very confused with the whole situation. I've heard a lot of
It's so
rumors that
beautiful.
Bo Dallas is going to be what's his name? Uncle fuck.
Uncle Howdy.
Do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be Bo Dallas? No. Do you think Bo Dallas
Oh.
isn't coming back? He's done.
No, I think Bo's coming back, but nobody knows what Bo's place is because WWE's had to change the story already a couple times. It was supposed to be Bray and the family against the Bloodline of Wargames. It wasn't supposed to be Team Sheamus, but Bray's doing so good on his own thing.
Dude, the thing where he's like trying to be like real and like talking like all personal and shit. And I'm like, at first I was like, holy shit, is this? And then they do the cutout things where like all the shit's happening. I'm like, all right, obviously there's something happening here, but they're building it up and they're doing a great job because I'm very intrigued.
Schizophrenia can be real.
Yeah, right.
And that's all it really is. It's just a big play in this. Like when it comes to Bray does such a great job because he takes so many nuances from so many different things in life and he puts them all into different little perspectives. So like Uncle Howdy being a little tribute and, you know, even with the Fiend and everything that he's done, everything's been little tributes, the Firefly Funhouses, all those other little things. Everything has a reason. There's nothing that's out of place for no reason.
Right.
That's shit that we don't find and we never will find because it's so meticulously over thought out. He thinks as a fan, but he thinks also as a horror director.
Yeah.
And having people like Tom Savini and some of the other people in his ear to help him with his creativity, like we'll never see anything like that. He was meant to be the modern Undertaker.
Vince killed him, man. Vince killed him.
Vince killed him because of, you know, the Fiend. And I love the Fiend. But taking that natural essence of who Wyndham Rotunda is and building a whole split personality, schizophrenic type of multiple characters, that's so fucking cool and dynamic.
So fucking cool.
And he's the only one that can pull it off with playing multiple split personalities.
He does it so well.
Yeah, you can't find Jericho being like, oh, I'm going to be serious Jericho, and then I'm going to be happy Jericho. No, he's always the same fucking Jericho during that time. Bray's able to switch it up between people, which is so unique. And
I'm very excited to see where the storyline goes with Bray Wyatt.
Me too. That's the best thing is nobody knows yet.
I know, and like a part of me just like wants to find out now, but like at the same time, I'm like, let it build.
Yeah, we don't. One, it's because us as Americans, it's the whole Shawshank, the whole world got up into a big damn hurry real fast.
Yeah,
I get it, but we never really take the time, even within pro wrestling, to enjoy the long story unless we hear about it from New Japan.
Because we all want it to happen now.
Yeah, like the Omega Okada build. You think that was just like overnight where Omega and Okada just started doing 5-star bangers for 3 or 4? No, they built that shit for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's a long-term
Great
story.
point, man. Great point.
It just we got to quit getting into this whole we need the satisfaction now and let shit develop.
Yeah, because like I feel like it's the shorter storylines that like almost kills it in a way, you know, like the things that have to like within a month, like we have a pay-per-view coming up, everything has to happen now, then on to the next rivalry. No, let that shit play out for 6 months to a year.
Depending on how it responds to the crowd.
Yes, of course. If the crowd hates it, then fuck it.
Yeah, if Cody and Seth are doing it, give me 12 months out of 12 months.
Oh, dude, they crushed it, man. I loved it. I could watch them wrestle once a month for a year. I wouldn't even care.
Yeah. Give me Bray. I mean, him and LA Knight are doing great work.
Dude, okay, so another sidetrack here. LA Knight. I love LA Knight. I hated, what was his name? Max Dupree. It reminds me of Rene Dupree. Fuck that. That fucking sucked. The whole Maximum Male Models or whatever the hell it was. Junk. But like, I didn't mind it. Fan, or Eli Drake fan, if you will, forever.
Yeah.
Dummy. Yeah. Dummy. Yeah. I fucking eat that shit up. And I hate the name LA Knight. I hate it. It does not resonate for me. It doesn't do it for me. LA Knight, it's not a real name. Like, whose name is LA? Nobody.
That's fair.
Eli Drake is just such a roll off the tongue, normal name. I get why he wasn't Eli Drake in WWE, but like LA Knight, like it could have been anything.
But it's also a tribute to Eli in this one of being able to make anything work.
Yeah, and
If
he
the only
crushes it
thing
as
you're
LA Knight.
bitching
He
about-
fucking crushes it, man.
Yeah, if the only thing you're bitching about is the name,
Yeah, you're right.
perfect.
That's the only thing I'm bitching about is the name.
He's
Everything
doing
else
his job.
works.
Yeah, he's doing his
Only
job.
thing I want though for LA Knight is I want him to bring back the button that says dummy because I want him to hit
Yeah.
it. He's like dummy,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
dummy, yeah. That shit is fucking so funny to me. It's dude, imagine like being a big buff fucking jack dude. You fight people for a living and you call people dummy and you go, yeah. That's so fucking. I love it.
Doing it to Braun Strowman.
Yeah, dummy,
Dummy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the best. I fucking love it. That shit was so good. And he had
You
a
think he
fucking
would-
button that said dummy.
You think he'd let me borrow that if I ended up ever doing that interview with Ryback?
Yeah.
Dummy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dummy.
right.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, you might have the hookups. Who knows? Like, if he ever lets you on, and then every time Ryback says something, dummy, yeah.
God, it's so bad.
And I
so
love
glad
at the
he
end of his
blocked me.
sentence, he's always like, yeah. It's just,
Let me talk to you.
yeah, let me talk to you. Yeah. The best. I fucking love that shit. But, so obviously AEW is new in the past couple years. What are your thoughts on like AEW versus WWE? I was more hyped up for AEW in the beginning, I will say.
I'm still quite hyped up for AEW.
Me too.
AEW does a lot of good things. But what you're talking about same things in the same realm, but different games.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
how it's basically when it comes to AEW and WWE, it's kind of the British to American argument of this is soccer, no, this is football.
That's a great point. Wow.
That's what AEW and WWE is the old argument of is this soccer, is it football, is it wrestling, or is it sports entertainment? What is this shit?
Well, Jericho's
And
a
then-
sports entertainer.
Well, of course he is. But I've had dinner with Chris. He's a great guy to talk to.
That's sick. You have?
Yeah, I have a poster over there autographed by Fozzy and everything. But yeah, I had dinner with him before his show. My life's been stupid. If I told you a lot of the other shit I've did in my life, it's fucking ridiculous.
You're my coolest friend now.
You have cool shit. Like, the best way to really think about it though is just so many people are nitpicky of just the argument of is it soccer or is it football, that they take away the essence of how good the sport really is.
Yes.
They're so busy wanting to debate on Ronaldo or Messi, or if it's Man U, Man City, or Chelsea, or whatever team is hot in the moment when it comes to professional soccer. Like, professional wrestling is the same experience. You're going to have people where, well, it's WWE, because that even with our parents, they don't know the name AEW. When they think of pro wrestling, they only think of WWE now.
And some still say WWF.
Yeah, and I totally get it. AEW hasn't become part of the cultural ampersand to make it break through where it becomes just a part of speech yet. Until that point, people are always going to say AEW is just soccer. But if you want football, that's WWE.
Great.
They're completely different shows. They're completely different things. Does AEW have anything like Bray Wyatt? Fuck no.
No.
But does WWE have anything like MJF? You bet your ass they don't. So like, there has to be something for everybody within, and that's where the elegance of what pro wrestling is.
I think that MJF is literally the best heel that I've seen in my entire lifetime.
I would put him right up there with Rick Rude.
Easily.
Rick Rude, tremendously great heel. Kurt Hennig, Roddy Piper, Bobby Heenan.
So for those of you that don't know, MJF, he's a wrestler for All Elite Wrestling, and he's
the
pretty
world
much
heavyweight champion.
Yeah, he is the world heavyweight champion. You're right, and he's like their number one bad guy. And this guy literally will like call people fat slobs. He'll swear and shit on it. My thing is like
shit about virgins.
Yeah, right. Like this guy would literally like talk about his contract coming up and possibly going to WWE. Do you think MJF could be MJF in WWE. I think
Yes.
he has a better chance now than ever with Triple H in charge. I think with Vince in charge, Vince would be like, who the fuck is this guy? And like put him in the mid card. Triple H is his only hope at him being MJF in WWE. But like, do you think he'll be the MJF that he is now? I think he's got to, obviously, if he goes to WWE, he's got to tone it down a little bit. But I think that
No,
the
he
move's
doesn't.
there, right? He's going to go.
He doesn't have to tone it down because that's what he's built. If he toned it down, people wouldn't want who he is.
Yeah, but what about when he's on the mic and he's like, Tony, you fucking mark? That would never work in WWE.
It's on a premium live event. You have different rules to abide by, amigo.
Ooh, smart man, Panda.
Mm-hmm. You have different rules in that playground. When it comes to MJF, when it's under Vince's control, he's to take over that mantle for Miz as the next Intercontinental Champion stalwart.
He blows Miz out of the water, man.
Well, but to protect that title's legacy for the next 10 years moving forward, just like Miz did for the last 10 years back. With Triple H in charge, he's the guy that can talk shit better than Roman.
I could see him and Roman going at it.
Especially even with Cody. Cody helped pave the way for him now because Cody and MJF aren't that different in size.
Yeah.
MJF's a little shorter. So you're telling me he's around Seth Rollins, a little bit taller, a little shorter than Seth Rollins. He fits right into that fucking landscape now.
Yeah.
And having Triple H sitting there saying, be MJF, don't be JMF like Vince would book him to be.
Yeah, right. Jacob Maxwell Friedman.
Yeah. Be you. Be Maxwell. Instead of being an 11 and saying, Tony, you fucking mark. We save that for certain moments on the premium live events. When we're on Raw, when we're on SmackDown, whatever show, you be MJF. You wear the Burberry. You be that pompous asshole that you can be. Because there's never going to be another one like you in this generation.
Never.
To keep that level of kayfabe that he has kept for as long as he has fought to keep it, fucking kudos to you.
Dude, that guy smashes kayfabe out of the water. Like he does it so well. I remember I like to watch YouTube videos of him just being an asshole, like meet and greets. And I remember this one
MJF, and this is Tits McGee.
Yeah, that was great. And I saw another video where like this person in a wheelchair is like coming up and like talking shit to MJF, and he goes, "All right," and yeah, he stands up, and I'm like, "Oh my god,
do that!"
And dude, yeah, he goes, "Do that," and like, dude. The fans love it too because they know it's him and they know like it's just so fucking funny, man. It's what they want. I totally agree. I would love to meet that guy.
With what Joey Ryan did, and I know that's kind of a blackballed name when it comes to pro wrestling now.
Yep.
And all the
I got another blackballed name coming up after this, actually. So keep going.
Oh, I can't wait. With Joey, if you take the dick element out, but how much he kept kayfabe in. Him and MJF weren't that different.
Yeah.
He was the babyface MJF. Just take everything related to the penis out. But everything he did with that, well, I won't defend that.
Sure.
I won't defend that. I won't anything like that. Like MJ, like Joey is Joey. He's doing his own thing now, but like MJF, there's something about those guys from the Northeast. They just know how to keep the kayfabe and they know the business. And I don't know if it's because of like Creative Pro and some of the other promotions up there, but they do so well at the psychology of the business compared to other regions.
I can't think of another person really other than MJF that really keeps kayfabe alive as much as he does, even though kayfabe is really dead and everybody knows everything like with wrestling. But like this guy, like
Taker.
Yes, but now he's not like that anymore. Like he was for the longest time. But who'd you say?
Roman.
Okay, yeah. But then again, I saw Roman on like the Logan Paul podcast, for example. And like he was just okay, you say Bray?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like he doesn't even speak. Like he doesn't do any. So that's right. Okay, I'll give you Bray because like Bray, like he doesn't do anything like podcasts and stuff like that. No interviews. I would agree, but like MJF, man, like this guy's like a douchebag. Anytime you see him on camera, I wonder what he's like in the locker room. He's got to be like a bro. He probably is, but we don't know.
We will never know.
We'll never know. So back to the blacklisted thing. So you brought up Joey Ryan, who I used to love, by the way, but like obviously a bunch of shit happened. I'm not defending anything whatsoever. But the name I'm going to bring up to you is Marty Scurll. Oh, your exact reaction, right? So do you think you're ever going to see Marty Scurll on national TV?
No.
I don't think so either. And it's sad because I used to be a huge Marty fan, man. And like when he was with the Bullet Club, the Elite, all that stuff, man, shit was so great. And then it just went south so fast.
We're going to be controversial with Marty on that.
I'm okay with a little controversial if you are. I like it.
So with Marty, I understand why he's blackballed. I understand the damage he did. The crimes that are committed in other countries should not be persecuted in the country that you're not in.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to say to it.
I will agree with that 100%.
If I do,
there's different laws in different countries, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand.
Yep.
But at the same time, like if I saw Marty Scurll come out on AEW TV and I hear whoop, 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 I'm freaking out. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, that's cool.
I hate that you brought that name up because I actually tried reaching out to him in the last 2 weeks.
No answer?
No, I've actually heard.
Really?
To be continued.
To be continued. Love it. We'll leave it there. That's one guy I would, dude, like, I would love to meet. I would love to have a conversation. Always been a fan of his. As I said, I get it. I wish situations were a little different. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I do understand.
It's a very delicate line for Marty.
Yeah, it's a line. Exactly what you said, man. And it's just like, I don't know. What else can we say?
Like, you want to hear somebody who had a fucking terrible hand dealt and deserves another chance? Let's talk about Mark Capani.
Yeah.
Muhammad Hassan. Where the fuck did he end up going?
Dude, he's like a principal now. He's like an elementary school principal.
Yeah, he's a middle school principal.
Yeah, in New York State, where I live.
Yep. And like, if anybody deserved a second chance and was totally because of happenstance, it's him.
It wasn't. He didn't even fuck himself. He got fucked by the Fed.
UPN, WWF, the London bombings, all those things kind of fucked him.
Yeah. It's like, how do you take this guy and repackage him? He can't.
Yeah, ever again.
Talented wrestler all day.
Which is the wildest thing if you fucking think about it at brass tacks, because you have a guy in WWE history who went from being a headbanger to being Leave It to Beaver to trying to become a woman beater. But we couldn't do something with somebody who was an Arab who was trying to tell the world the injustices that Americans were doing to him.
Yeah. And then everything happened at the worst time and just
the worst times. That dude, I loved Muhammad Hassan's work.
Dude, me too. I was a big fan. And like, it wasn't even him. He did not fuck himself by any means. It was just like the role that was given to him. And then it was just like, see ya.
Goodbye, never to be seen again. Like, what? You were supposed to be world heavyweight champion. Kind of like, Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah.
But Kennedy got screwed.
Oh, yeah. I heard it was Randy. Was it Randy Orton or was it John Cena? One of the two.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about how he was supposed to be world heavyweight champion.
Oh, yeah. How he wasn't blows my mind.
He won Money in the Bank. And then the doctor tells you that you have a tear in your bicep or a tear in your whatever it may be. You drop the briefcase to Edge. And then a couple days later, you find out it's just a bruise. And they never put you back into that same level again.
Fucked.
I love Ken. He's a fucking wonderful human being to talk to. He's like, during this whole journey, he's become a great friend.
That's awesome.
I have a lot of love for Ken. Him and his wife, great human beings. And like,
I said top 5 wrestlers before. He's my number 6, by the way.
One of the best dudes to ever talk on the mic. Ever.
Dude, my favorite thing too was when he would go and they would drop the mic down. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, dude, I ate that shit up.
Every one of us did. We loved Kennedy. Still love Kennedy. He's such a great human.
All right. So, all right, we've taken a lot more time here than I thought. So I'm going to ask you one more question. What's your
Give me 2
favorite?
or 3. I don't even care.
Oh, fuck it. Then I'll keep going.
You can go
So,
overtime with me.
what's your favorite live event you've ever been to? I'll tell you mine real quick. All right. So, back in 2003, I live in upstate New York. Albany, New York is close to me. If you've ever heard of Albany, New York, it's capital New York. And I was there for a live show. It was a SmackDown, I think. It was not even a live show. It was a televised live event. And I was sitting like 3 rows back, but I was able to like run up in the front and like sit in the front every time a wrestler came out. Undertaker came out, right? Back when he had the American Badass, he had the motorcycle and all. And I'm sitting next to all these people that are like pushing me and stuff like that. Undertaker gets in the ring, and I didn't see it at the time, but when you watch it back on video, he like looked at me and then like threw his shirt, and I'm looking away, and then I turn and I see the shirt coming at me. I go to catch it, and there's this like grown woman sitting next to me. She's wearing like a clown like wig and whatever. So like I just grab it, and then she's like trying to wrestle me with this, right? We're going back and forth. Security comes over. Hey, give it to the little kid. And she's like, no, I caught it. And he's like, no, give it to the little kid. He threw it to the little kid. So she lets go. And I have the Undertaker shirt in my hand. And I'm like, holy shit. I run back. Actually, I'm going to grab the shirt. I'll be right back. Right here. Big Evil.
Oh, you even got the red Big Evil shirt.
That's it right there. It still
That's
smells
so
like him to
phenomenal.
this day. Just kidding. Not really, but.
What size is that? Like a 3?
Oh, actually, I don't know. The tag's ripped off, so I can't see, but he was wearing this. So like this thing's huge. I'll put it on for you for aspect here.
Should have came out to rolling.
Yeah, right. Dude, this thing's huge on me. It's like,
Jesus.
yeah, this thing's like one of those things where like there's not even sleeves. It's just
Like
cut
a
off.
Medea dress on you.
Yeah, I know, right? But I remember I was like, holy shit. So I had this thing in my hand. I ran back to my dad. My dad could not believe it. So he ended up like getting it framed for me. And one of my friends broke the frame. So now it just hangs up in my room. But yeah,
Did you
man.
steal that from the Undertaker boy?
Yeah, right. To this
Sure did,
day,
yeah.
like the coolest fucking thing ever. I could not believe that I caught this. I was like, holy shit, this is so sick. My dad's
That
like, you
is
should
so
sell it on eBay. I'm like, how do I prove it was the Undertaker's? I can't even prove it. So I'm just going to keep it forever.
So like, I have a couple when it comes to my favorite events. One was War Games 2019 with Kevin Owens and Ciampa against Undisputed Era.
Ah, yeah.
I was there, and it was actually one of the first dates that me and my now wife went on, was to that. And she's not a big wrestling fan, and she was just like looking around and looked at me and just like, you do not belong here. I know, but these are my people. Let's see, Forbidden Door.
You were there?
I was there, and what was cool about Forbidden Door was one of my followers bought my ticket, and a lot of my followers donated to help get me there, and like
That's
to pay
cool.
for my travel and everything like that. So like that was amazing to finally say that I saw Kazuchika Okada in person. Like I have a lot of respect for Tanahashi and all of those things, but Kazuchika Okada, I feel, is the #1 professional wrestler breathing on this planet.
Sure.
And I have like a little shrine to him in Liger in my hallway, but like to see him even in a loss in that fatal 4-way, my voice was gone. Gone the second I heard that coin drop. My voice was just throttled to fucking 11. And the last one would have been it seems random, but SmackDown in August, where it was leading to Clash at the Castle. I apologize. Where Roman took the chair and put it over Drew's throat, and the whole bloodline kind of surrounds him. I was there for that, but what was cool about it for me was I had my kids with me, and my kids have never really got to enjoy. They've always seen Matt because Matt's dad. They know who Panda is, but Panda's like, yeah, whatever. That's what just dad does. Becoming friends with Top Dollar of Hit Row, and becoming really good friends with him, and he got the tickets for my kids.
Oh, that's cool, man.
And we were sitting there, the 4 of us, my wife, me, and my 2 kids, were all sitting there together. and I took a picture of them when Hit Row came out and they were doing the symbol, and I sent it to Top Dollar, and like 10 minutes after his match ended, he was in the back and he texted me back saying Hit Row for the kids. Like, that shit I can never take back or be able to repay.
Yeah.
Like those moments, because then Panda worked out for them and they were so happy. And like, they're not even really wrestling fans, either one of them. But like my daughter, she knows who Roman Reigns is. And my son, he loves the New Day and stuff like that. And when Hit Row came out, and for them to put 2 and 2 together and be like, wait, that's the guy? Yeah, that's the guy that you're sitting here because of that guy right there. Hey! Like, to see the smile on their faces made all the shit that I've done worth it.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
So like those 3 events will always carry a big meaning in my heart in their own little ways.
Did you ever go to the original All In?
I did not.
I went to All In and that shit was sick. That's up there on my list.
Because see, like I wanted to go to All In and I wanted to go to All Out, but I did make it to Forbidden Door and I was at Blood and Guts. So like Forbidden Door was unique in its own way, just because of the crossover, and we don't know if it'll happen again or when it will happen again. But hey, for one night in pro wrestling, it seemed like everything was right. And the last time for something like that happened in pro wrestling was All In.
Absolutely.
Hey, even people talk a lot of shit about her. In the ring, I don't think there was anybody better than Tessa Blanchard as a women's wrestler.
Oh, she crushed it.
Until her bullshit came out too.
Yeah.
I inside the ring, nobody could touch her, maybe Charlotte Flair. Other than that, Tessa Blanchard was the greatest professional women's wrestler.
I'm with you there. So now that 2022 is almost to an end, and you've had one hell of a 2022, do you have any big plans for 2023?
Multiple.
I mean, I know you gave us some inside scoops of stuff that's going to come, but
not even within the network. So of course the network, I want the channel to thrive more and to keep growing at the exponential rate that they've been growing, because I'm very proud of the entire team. And like,
crushing it, man. You're crushing it.
Like, it's not even about me. It's a we thing. Like, they do so much behind the scenes shit that they don't ask for any credit on. And that's so, there's not words for shit like that. When people believe in the dream that you've presented, where they're like Thelma and Louising with you, and they're just like, yeah, fuck it. If the car crashes off the hill, let's go. Like, that shit you can't take away or take back or, take any shot from. Me personally, when it comes to what I'm doing, I feel like we're on the precipice of doing something so different and so uniquely amazing that I don't really want to put my finger down on one specific goal, because I feel if I put my finger down one specific goal, I'll overlook the other goals around me that are fucking incredible. If I had to pick one goal,
I said goals, by the way. So
I'm gonna pick one, or else we'll be here all fucking night.
All right, pick one.
God damn. I either want to end up being recognized within AEW or WWE for what we're doing, and not necessarily saying like we want to be bought out or we want to be dissolved or any of that shit, or we want free tickets or anything like that. Like, just the fact that knowing that some of the people within WWE know who we are is a hell of a tip of the cap and a little feather. But it's very much the Scarface mentality in me. I want the world and everything in it.
I love
and I don't want to sit around anymore, especially at 35. And the story that I've had, I'm not supposed to be alive. I had 2 brain surgeries before I was 1 year old.
Holy
and
shit.
I'm doing this shit. Like, every day above is a great challenge. So like, the fact that I'm able to do the things,
Say that, man.
the fact that I'm able to have the network, not just for myself, but for the team, and even for my kids, because, you know, even if the channel crash and burns tomorrow, let's say, and we have nothing positive left, at least when I'm gone, that library is there for them. Because when people go, especially loved ones, the more that time goes on, the more that we wish we could hear the voice, but we almost start to have a distortion of what that voice sounded like. That library is there. Like, you want to hear dad, go hear dad.
Hell yeah.
So like it's so much bigger than what we think, because we just think we're talking about pro wrestling. But having people that have messaged me saying how I've helped save their life, or
It's huge.
I've given them the platform to take the courage to start their own shows, or to, you know, to not be afraid. That's one thing where maybe the brain surgery took out of me, is I don't really live within fear. Just, if we fail, we fail. Real shit, I'll break fourth wall. I emailed FTR and I emailed MJF today. If it doesn't work, oh well. But you damn sure know that I emailed them and tried.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Because that's the worst that's going to happen. I don't get a response, or I get a no. Okay, I did it. Last Saturday, getting ready for a Christmas party, I get a phone call. And it's always one of those, you know, you don't know the number, so you think it's probably a scam. I always have a thing where if it's from Orlando or Stamford, Connecticut, I'll answer the call just in case.
Sure.
I see that it's from Orlando. I answer the phone. It's fucking Larry Zbyszko. Yeah. He got my email that I sent him, and he's not a big dude that works on the internet, so he just called me and told me to keep his number and da-da-da-da-da. But, you know, if we can get business working out down the road, he'd love to talk to me more. I have Larry Zbyszko calling me on a Saturday night.
That's fucking sick.
It's so wild, dude. And like, people have asked me how I've built this, because of like all the behind the scenes work that I do. And I am a connected panda. I understand that. I make jokes about me being a powerful panda. But most of the work is so easy, but people overlook it. Like I said, I sent over 200 emails just this week to everybody you could, or this last week, from Larry Zbyszko to Jeff Jarrett to Pat Buck to Medusa, to anybody you could think of in any realm. I found all their emails through social media, through their Instagrams, their Twitters, and just doing a little bit of the research. All their social media was right there for booking info. I've like to have email conversations or phone calls with some of these people. All it took was just having a set of balls to do it.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting here on this side of the guardrail being fans, why are we going to sit behind the guardrail our whole life? Or is one of us fans going to step over but not get our asses beat and be like, we can live here, guys. We belong.
I love that. Good
We're
for you,
doing
man.
it.
I fucking love everything you're doing. So
Thank
real
you.
quick before we send off, plug all your socials. Where can we follow you? Tell me all about it. Let's go.
Fucking everywhere at this point. Let's see. So TikTok, LovePanda24x48. Twitter, the exact same thing, and Instagram, the exact same thing. Twitch and YouTube, Panda Wrestling Company. Also on iTunes, we're on Spotify. Basically anywhere that you hear or see us, we're fucking there now. We have our own YouTube page. Our YouTube page has like 3,000 or 4,000 people on it. We have a Discord channel. We have like any way to keep in communication. We have people that are working within the communication system. It might not always be me that you talk to, but it's always somebody within the wheel that gets the message to.
That's fucking badass, dude. Yo, like I
It's
said
organic,
before,
dude.
I love everything you're doing. You're fucking crushing it. I can't wait to see what 2023 brings for you. And
Thanks, man.
yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on so short notice, but I think that's all the time we have here today in the garage. My dude, we're going to keep in contact. I appreciate you coming on. Hell of a conversation.
It's fine. Let me know when you want me to come back.
My dude, let me know when you want me to come back. That's the magic words I always want to hear. My dude, we'll have you back for sure. But yeah, man, thanks for coming on. And with all that being said, we'll see you nerds next week.
Mahalo.
Hey, nerds, please don't forget the #1 way to support the brand. Buy some merch. We've got hats, hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, and it's all available to you at www.garageboozing.net/shop. And don't forget to follow on all your favorite social media accounts as well as YouTube at Garage Boozing. And of course, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, whatever the button may be, to the Garage Boozing podcast on your favorite podcast platforms so you can be notified as soon as a new episode is released.
Ladies, gentlemen, and nerds. Do you have what it takes to be a guest on the fastest growing, alcohol chugging, and nonsense talking podcast? Well, now is your chance. The Garage Boozing Podcast has new guests every week, and you could be one of them. Just simply log on to www.garageboozing.net, click the Be on the Show tab, and submit your information. It's that simple. Join the boozement, or be a loser. Don't miss your chance, because we're taking this to the moon.